BlastMusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Ooh-wee. Hey, partner, what's going on? Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Melikia K, Courtney, and you are with me for the 102nd episode of SXP, Metamorphosis 365. Quite a lengthy name, but I'm sure you get the necessity of it all because we got to grow. How about that? Got to grow. We began this episode like we began every episode, and that is with full on gratitude. If you do not have a gratitude practice, go ahead and binge these episodes. And by the time you catch up to this 102nd, you will have developed a gratitude practice. Thank you to Sunshine Cromwell, who loved me enough to talk about me behind my back, what Troy saw. And both of them hit my phone like, hey, listen, don't you want to do a podcast? So here I am, and I have been here in this chair, minding my commitment, and being here with you guys to remove the excuse and of access, right? A lot of times people may feel like, because I've heard these objections, the cost to invest in self, they don't understand it yet, or they don't have it in their pocket yet. So they see, right? I have deaded those excuses. Dead. So with that, subscribe. Melikia K Courtney channel. Also subscribe to blastmusic.com. You want to do that. Okay. On a note, let me start it. I have playtime here today. Today is all about the sister chat. We about to have these conversations, and I am elated to share this time with my sister. It is I don't know. It's wonderful to have sisters, and it is beautiful when your sisters are the salt of the earth, when they have a love like no other, when they see you and accept you and you them. It is a beautiful thing. I hear folks with all that chattery madness about how women behave, beat it. Because we ain't got that problem, and I thank God for that. So we are going to welcome you into our world of conversation. And I'm going to have my sister introduce herself to you. I'm not even not sure which camera to look at, but hey, we all over the place. We stream out to about, I think it's 13 places now, including, well, we're going to tell you that. We're going to get to that later. However, 13 different locations. So wherever you're watching from, thank you. Means a lot. Okay, great. Let's get started. So, hola, hola, hola. Push these magic buttons. I bet that was supposed to be he. Hey. And first info. Okay, with that being complete, let's get my sister up in here. Ready, set? All right. Woo!
Yay, I'm here.
Round of applause.
Hi,
Ladies and gentlemen,
everybody.
this is my J Valentina. So I'm going to fall back and just like take 2 minutes and introduce the folks to who you are and a little bit of what you do, and we'll unfold it as we move through our conversation.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, I am J Valentina, CEO and founder of Sincerely J's Virtual House. At first, it was just Sincerely J, but Spirit has started my rebranding. So one day, very soon, I will tell you what this rebranding is. One thing I've been learning about is my human design. And my human design is allowing me to learn how to take my time with things and not rush, because I do have emotional authority, and that strategy is to wait and respond. So I'm learning how to lean into that. So soon, I promise you, because I'm getting my downloads, I'm getting the information, and the other part of me is like, I'm going to take off and run. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do what you normally do. Do the total opposite. So Sincerely J's Virtual House is coming very soon. I am a mother of 3. My oldest is 22. My daughter is 19. And my youngest will be 8 on May 11th, which is Mother's Day. So we do share that, and I'm very honored. I have lived a life of, I don't want to say doing what I want, but definitely following not only my spirit, but even the spirit of God, universe, whatever anyone wants to call it. I believe in trusting myself. I believe in co-creating with the universe. That has always been the core of who I am. I'm a teacher, not by education or CPS standards, but I am a teacher. I have a lot of knowledge of astrology, numerology, tarot, and oracle cards. In fact, I am an oracle. So that's also one of the cool things about my spiritual gifts. I love seeing that unfold in my children as well as my family. As you all know, she introduced me as her sister, and I am the youngest of the girls, so I am the baby girl. So it's a true honor having three older sisters that I get to steal stuff from. Because as old as I am, I still steal from my sisters. Baby sister life never changes. So everyone knows.
Well, I hear to run it in my spirit. Run it. Go ahead.
That's right. Run it up. Run it up.
Well, I love it, and it's a So I'm comfortable with a truly open and bare conversation. Are you? What's your comfort level with the open and bare? Okay.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I didn't grow up in the church, but I did my stint in the church. And the
Okay.
one thing, it was a lady there. Her name was Loopy. Me and that woman looked just alike. I swear you would. That was my mother. But I loved her compassion to speak the truth.
Yes.
That woman saved my life. And I say that because if that woman wouldn't have never shared her story, if she wouldn't have never been vulnerable enough to say, hey, this is some crap I went through. Yeah, it's ugly, but I stood in it. And so I'm completely comfortable. We can go as deep as we want.
Okay. So we're gonna share some of the business. Some of the business ain't the business. So, short story, we did not grow up together. And this is just for y'all because we know we didn't grow up together. But we, um,
Exactly.
we were connected as adults. Well, how about I found out I had sisters and brothers that I did not know about. And it blew my mind. And it was such a moment for me to learn that you guys existed. And then when we got to come face to face, oh God, I was like, I'm at home. I am at
Yes.
home. I am home. I am home. And I have found my vibration, like specifically in you. And like, I love my sisters and my brothers, please don't misunderstand, but I meant like spiritually and energetically, I found my vibration in
Yeah.
the human. And then, of course, my creative stuff and the musical stuff with Nikki and the hard head, logical, let's fight about it, Will
Yeah.
Alpha. And straight face with Will, like there's so many moments of commonality between us, even though we didn't even freaking grow up in the same household. The
Literally.
dynamics are similar, and the mindsets are similar, which I freaking love. So for me, it was a oh my ever God,
Yes.
wow, and thank God. I'm curious what it was for you in that moment.
Girl, I will never forget this day. I will never forget this day. I remember Alpha telling me like he had asked, well, he had got a message, I think it was from Couture, and he was like, yeah, we're gonna have a meetup or something like that. And I was like, okay, cool. And so I remember William picked me up, but I was so nervous because I was like, what if she don't like me?
Aw.
And the thing is, it's like you said, because we didn't grow up, you can't help but to wonder, was anything said about me? And maybe you might have wondered, like, I wonder if anybody talked bad about me that could have like kept us from like bonding and things like that. So I didn't know if I was going to be a clearing up session of things that might have been said, or if it was going to be just, hey, let's talk and have love. And I was so honored that we was able to do both. We were able to talk about everything and still laugh and hug each other. And it was like, and I remember leaving like, I can't wait to see them again. I hope we never lose contact. I'm calling her
Oh,
tomorrow. I'm about to get on her nerves. I hope she don't be mad at me. Like, I was so ready.
that's what's up. And it's and I had no clue. Like mine was from a position of zero knowledge. So it was the wonder, the awakening, and the joy for me.
Yeah.
And I was really glad about that. And then we got to chop it up real time about our shared parent and just what that looked like. So I start at the beginnings because it makes sense and pattern and foundation for the moving forward. We both had to get it out the mud. So to
Yeah.
speak.
Pretty much.
Our mamas had to get it out the mud. Like if we was gonna have it, that's where it's gonna come from, our single mamas, right? And
Yeah.
what I find is that we both have very strong-willed moms who was about that education, who was about that business. Because the
Yeah.
first business that I ever participated in was a family business.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned, listen, that's where I fell in love with money right quick. Folks talk about what they talk about. Let me tell you, I understood the hustle. And I was like, blue,
Exactly.
cash, friend. Okay. And
Cash money.
buddy. But it was what it availed. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't like, okay, I just need to take it back. Let me tell the truth on this, because dimes were very shiny.
Yeah.
Best butt whooping I ever got
Yeah.
was when I was a kid, because dimes were very shiny. Do you understand? So as a
Yeah.
kid, I was not one to like hoard money. That wasn't my thing. I wanted what money did for me. I was clear
Exactly.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then
Yep.
I was also clear on creating. Because
Mm-hmm.
for me, that's when it began. I was making things like physical products for sale,
Yeah.
and was able to go present it to the public when I was like knee high to a duck. So
Yeah.
I'm curious, what did your business bug or money bug pop up?
For me, like you said, mom's heavy on the education. And like my mom was like, you go to school, get your education, get you a good job, stay there until you retire. And like you, there was this creative part of me that was just curious about the world. Like I wanted to explore everything. Like I remember being a little kid, I think I was on a bus, dad and mom, we were coming from the movies, and we
Mm.
rode past the building and it said tarot reading. And I was like, oh, I want to go in there. I'm a kid.
You see that
You
so
know what I'm saying?
often,
Like I
didn't
knew, like you said, like I knew there was a part of me that's like, I want to see what's in there. I want to, go there. And so as I got older, it was like I was very focused. It's like I talk about astrology. So this is gonna be a lot of astrology coded, but I'm gonna explain everything. I'm a Virgo rising. Virgo risings are very sturdy, like they truck along and they follow A through B, and they're perfectionists. And so because of that perfectionist that was also inside of my family, with my mom, with we stand on the course, not veering off course or anything like that, it was like it was hard for me because there was this part of me, because my moon is Aquarius, which is the rebel. My rising sign is, hey, stick to the planet. So it was always this tug and pull with me.
Okay.
I wanted to please my mom, didn't want to upset her, didn't want to break her heart. So it was like, let me do this her way. But there was always this voice like, but you want something else. You're curious about something else. So for a very long time, that hold was on me. And then I became a mom at 21. During my formative years where I should have been partying and doing all this stuff, I was thrown into motherhood. So bam, my focus is even more, because I can't be out here partying. I can't be out here in the streets, because if I do, you're an unmarried woman. How dare you? You got this kid. You better focus. You can't be in the street. So I can't have fun. I have to work. So it was always, let me find a good job. Let me find this good job. Entrepreneurship is rocky. It's not a guarantee. You might do it and lose money, but then they use that as a way to keep you from trying. And that was my thing. So everything was telling me to stay away from entrepreneurship. So it wasn't until after I had Nikki, like a few years after her, I was literally on YouTube and I was looking at videos of this lady making like a body butter. I'm like, I could absolutely do this shit. And at that time, it was just more so for me to save money because I wasn't working. So I'm like, maybe if I made my own stuff, I'll save money. And then I started getting conscious about ingredients. I can't put that on my baby's skin. I've been putting that on our skin all the time. Oh my God, no wonder people have cancer. So then I threw
Yep.
everything out. And so next thing you know, I started making little small stuff for family and friends, and I wasn't selling it. But then people like you, lady who was telling you, don't you want to start a podcast? Somebody was like, don't you want to sell this? And I was like, maybe. And so that's when I started Sincerely J. And when I did, it was more so like, I just love making stuff and I love the responses that people were getting. So even then, it wasn't about the money yet, because I still hadn't accepted that I deserved wealth. You know what I mean? It was, let me do what everybody is telling me to do. Let me make sure it's the right way and all of this stuff. So it took a long, long time for me to even think that I deserved that. You know what I mean? Or that it was okay for me to have it, because struggle is all I've seen. So trying to come up out of that, it took me a long time, because like I said, that Virgo rising and my Aquarius moon, they could taking me in two different directions, and that internal war lasted so long.
So you poked a couple of bears along the way in your conversation. I was like, ooh, to the tune of judgments, like for real.
Mhm.
One, I identify with that rebel because
Mhm.
I promise you, I don't know, like, kid you not, I can say that like the shiny dimes, certain
Mhm.
things in life just shined for me, and I want to touch it too. So when you said that about the tarot cards, for one, we in Chicago streets, and when they had those places, a lot of them had the wonderful line, the neon
Mhm.
lights that was flashing. You feel
Yes.
me? Okay, so you already know who your sister is. I was like, ooh, pretty. And when I said,
Exactly.
"What's that?" Mine was more like a shotgun, like that's a no
Yes.
no. You know what I mean? So I'm giggling that we both had that experience, which is really funny
Yes,
because I didn't know
girl.
what tarot was, but I sure knew the lights were shiny, and I sure knew it was something about that place that was like, okay, step one, and then two,
Exactly.
living through the judgments. It's a going up to different places, still Chicago, of course, but
Mhm.
different parents, different environment, different schools. We
Mhm.
still magically and we found it. We
Mhm.
found the pool of judgment,
Yep.
the judgment pool, and I can say that
Yep.
I know how to do the butterfly stroking it.
Yes.
Okay, and it's such a damning thing.
Mhm.
Like it's such a damning thing. So I wondered while you were speaking how much of what you had to work through was the people pleasing, like our people who we love was the people pleasing, or
Mhm.
how much was you really working out from under the judgments?
So for me, it was very much, I would probably say 90% of people pleasing.
Okay.
And the thing is, I've been looking at my astrology chart and my human design so closely, like I'm with a
Yeah.
magnifying glass. And it hit me when I was looking at my chart
Mhm,
that it wasn't gonna, my people pleasing days wasn't gonna end until now.
mm,
Like it literally took until 43 years of age for my first house in astrology, which is the self, the identity, to take
mhm.
a hit. And so Saturn, when the planets was doing its thing early this year, Saturn knocked my first house. And I swear for all the gods old and new
So,
that I
you damn it.
literally, girl, I literally woke up and I felt different. Like it was a message I heard from Dr. Juanita Bynum, and she was like, I laid down one way and I got up and I didn't have a taste for it anymore. And I was like, I know what that means now. And I
Yes.
woke up and I was like, I'll be damned if I
Mm,
explained another thing. I'll be damned if I give another explanation. I'll be damned if I sit here and do anything. My no is no. And the
that's
thing
it.
is, like, even now, I'm still working through it because I was triggered today. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it
Mhm,
all the way up. Today, I was absolutely triggered, and I
mm,
found myself doing a thing that I have been, saying that I'm not gonna do and practicing. But then this
mm,
individual showed me I still got work to do. Like I'm
mm.
still not there. Like that people pleasing, that over and even over explaining is a form of people pleasing, which I didn't know. But because me being a talker and me, knowing that what I'm saying is right and is just, like there's a part of me that I'm like, but no, I'm right, and I'm passionate about. Like I want you to hear what I'm saying, even if it don't change your mind. I'm gonna plant
Right.
this seed though, and and so I'm like, you know what? I'm done with that. And so
Right.
I found myself earlier today when I was getting triggered. I said, Jasmine, you see in real time what's happening. Shut your ass up.
Mm,
This person, one, don't even deserve the explanation. They don't have the mental capacity to even understand what you're saying because they're so hung up on what you did when what you did was a reaction to what they did. So
oh,
that let me know right now, at that moment, you'll never see this. Not until you're in your next relationship and that person does this to you. Then it's going to hit you. So I said, you know what? I'm going to shut the hell up. We have a big space for this energy. So our emotions and our minds, they quick. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like we can filter through that, and like not everybody can do that in real time. I can. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
so, like I said, when I was looking at that, I said, Jasmine, you're learning what your human design is. You're an emotional, a manifesting generator with emotional authority. you have to wait before you make a big decision. So
Yes.
even with talking to people, I said I now have to put that towards conversations, waiting to even have a conversation, waiting to even respond. And like the person I was talking to, I even told them, and this was before I even started going to my human design. I had told this, I said, there are going to be times I know I'm going to need to fall back.
We
You know
are
what I'm
live.
saying?
So
You said to be
y'all get
honest,
the
you said
real
to
and the
keep it
raw
a buck.
today. It's the
You
real
know
and
what
the
I'm
raw
saying?
today.
But
Yes, I
I'm
do.
tired. I'm tired.
I
And
hear
like,
you.
and I heard like once you reach 40, you have 0 fucks. I'm now starting to realize that that's a real thing. I'm at a
I
point,
literally had that
I said,
conversation last
thank
night.
God I don't have no more fucks. I'm
No,
happy about that.
not
I'll pick them up
reordering.
as I choose. But right now, I'm very much in my villain era.
Good. I'm very proud of you, and I'm very happy that
Yes.
the revelations are coming and in a flood at that. It's so
Yes.
true. Like I kid you not, when I hit 40, I kid you not, I had this conversation last night. There was
Mm-hmm.
something about, and it's not just us. I
Yeah.
know a buttload of women, and it's something about 40 where that key turns and unlocks that door, and then we walk through that door and we close that door behind us and lock the whole back.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no going back. Like
Yep.
it doesn't fit, it doesn't feel, there's no room, there's no oxygen in that
Mm-hmm.
behavior. It's gone. So I'm
Exactly.
proud of you. I'm gonna high five you to the camera
Yeah,
because
right back at you.
yo, that is a
But yeah,
good thing. I'm very happy for
like
you.
I said, it took me a while, but because they call it in real life, they call it a midlife crisis, but it's not a midlife crisis. What it's called is a mid activation. There's a part in your chart
Awakening.
that's activated, and
Yes.
you wake up, and it's like,
That's
oh
it. You're
snap!
awakening to yourself, baby. You remembering. And it is something
Literally.
about when you move into that place of remembrance. My personal view, it is that as we exist in this life, our revelations, our awakenings
Mm-hmm.
are us reconnecting to us. We are remembering who we are. We have forgotten because we knew when we were kids, we knew when we was free, wilding out, energetic, saying what we
Mm-hmm.
want to say, being who we want to
Exactly.
be, and energizing and being energized. We were free to
Mm-hmm.
do so, but as life and environment and humanity and
Mm-hmm.
systems come and chip away
Yep.
our peace and our knowing, we
Yep.
forget. But oh my God,
Exactly.
when the remembrance starts, everybody watch out.
Baby. I'm telling
Everybody
you.
watch out. And I love
And
what you
just so
shared too.
everyone knows, like this is absolutely the week astrologically that
Mm,
whatever you put your energy into is
mm,
going to happen. Like Mars
mm,
is in full effect right now, which is another reason why I got into it today. Because Mars is not only action and boost, but it's a
mm,
war. It's a war
mm,
planet. So the fact
mm.
that I got into it today, I said, Jasmine, you know, you knew.
Keep
So I
watch,
had to
keep
kick
watch.
myself. I said, all right, I own that. I should have, but once I realized, I pulled it back. So everybody watching, go for your stuff this week. Everything, like even me showing up today, I had to remind myself because I'm like, even with that happening, it bothered me. And like I said, with my emotional design, it's like there's called a wave. So I have my highs and my lows, and I
Yeah,
have to ride my full wave before I say, all right, now I know what I'm going to do. And so
that
the
seems
old
related.
me, the old me would have been like, I ain't doing that. I ain't going here. I'm gonna cancel this. I'm gonna put this off. I said, I'm done letting niggas get in the way of my money. And no, you're not paying me, but showing up is paying me internally. It's
That's
paying
it.
my mind to knowing that I can do this and I could push past whatever happened today. It's
That's
telling
it.
my heart you can still show up for the people you love and help them out and keep your word. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to push them back. It's like even yesterday I was having a really bad day. Like I was
Aw.
ugly crying a lot. And before that, I had picked Zara up and I was like, we're gonna go home, we're gonna do our face mask, we're gonna do this. And then when that happened, I was like, I can't even be around her in this space. I've been
Aw.
crying for hours. And so I was like, I have to get through this. And I said, Jasmine, you have to stop saying it because that's also going against your emotional design. You don't have to ignore, you just have to get through it. So I said, let me just work through it. And so I was trying to find other things because, like you said, in the spirit of transparency, my gas is about to be cut off.
Mm,
I don't have a job. I've been out of job for a year.
mm,
And, Chicago, they can't turn your gas and stuff off during the winter months, but we're in
right.
spring. So it's
Yeah.
where my money at. And so
Right.
they sent me my disconnection notice. And I was like, uh-huh. So I did my CETA application, but then they said, oh, we don't have it. Pay us. oh, no, thank you. I said, well, I guess my stuff about to be cut off because I'm not calling nobody for this
Mhm.
exorbitant amount of money. Not
Yeah.
gonna do it. And so when all of this was happening, I said, fuck that. That's my child. She deserves me. And I'm going to give her
100%.
the best version of me by
100%.
hell and hot water because I did it for niggas who ain't even here no more. I done
Woo.
did it for relationships who did not even invest in me financially, mentally, and emotionally. And my kids love me unconditionally. I'm not
Mhm.
putting them. So I got over myself. We did our face mask. I put on my Glamour J playlist, which is what I use for my Glamour Magic. We was
Mhm.
dancing in the living room, face mask
Good.
on. We didn't watch Bebe's kids because I said I always put my kids up on history.
On history.
On history, you know what I'm
History.
saying? So and she
Oh
loved it.
God.
She cracked
You
up, you know
grounded
what
too,
I'm
by the
saying?
way.
So
I'm listening
ended it
closely.
with a
You
great
grounded.
night. And I was like, oh, thank God. But then after I got her to bed, and again, in the spirit of transparency, unfortunately, I've been in my house for 3 years and not once ever had to deal with a mouse. They did construction on houses across the street in an apartment down there. Now I cannot stop. I can't figure out where they're coming in at after having people come in and say, we don't even see it. So if an exterminator is telling
So
me,
hold
I
that
don't
thought,
see
because I
it.
got something for you on that.
Mhm.
Isn't it that there's two things? There's actually three.
Okay.
One, we're gonna work backwards. One, while you were just speaking it right now, I kid you not, literally what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. Sometimes it is that God sends to cause you to move around.
Mm-hmm.
Sends you the disruption, sends you the discomfort, sends you
Mm-hmm.
the avalanche because your ass wouldn't move when I said move. And I kid you
Mm-hmm.
not, that's literally what I just got. So it is time
Yeah.
for you to let it
It
go
is.
and
And you know
transition
what? And I
peacefully.
told myself that because I said, ain't no way I've been in this house 3 years and not
That's what I'm
once ever
saying.
seen a mouse. And I've
And
had over
educated
damn
gets
near 20.
and agreed, and then and that is too. That was the part two with what the Black women are experiencing since Felon 47 has been in running, campaigning, and then into office, and all his friends and cronies. Over 365,000 Black women.
Actually, it's at
Over
500,000 now.
we're 500,000
It's at 500.
educated, beautiful, melanated women up out their
NBA.
jobs because folks is threatened by that $1 trillion pocket purse that we
Mhm.
hold on to.
Exactly.
That's some doodle caca for your poo poo. But
Exactly.
you still can't stop us. We been here, we ain't going no damn where. And we're
Not it.
still going to thrive. And that I think blows people's mind. I kid you not, that is the one thing about the Black woman. We're gonna figure it out.
Say,
And we ain't gotta figure it out by ourselves. Do we not move in the spirit? Do we not
baby.
hear from sovereign divine God? Do we not
Baby.
hear from Oshun? Do we not hear from our ancestors? We listening. For those of us Black women who understand and stand in our Black women and in our
Baby.
womb, in our heart, and in our mind, and in our energy. And you, I don't understand fully the astrology and such, but you understand that very well. So
Mhm.
we lean into
Mhm.
the beast that we
Yep.
are
Yes.
unapologetically.
Yes.
And that is to be said, because you ain't lazy. It ain't
No.
never that.
No.
But that's
Never.
okay, because no weapon formed against you and no plot in
Shall
position gonna stand. Ain't gonna work.
and
Ain't gonna work.
and
It's gonna
that's
work
what I
for us.
said. Cause like and the crazy thing is, and
Mm.
like, and that's how I know I'm being put in a position of uncomfort because I am uncomfortable all the time. I've been uncomfortable for over a year from being in a relationship in here not being happy. Then after putting him out, like stuff still wasn't okay because I wasn't working and trying to figure things out, and
Mhm.
then still going back and forth through that relationship stuff. It was just constant uncomfort, sadness, crying. And at first it was just from outside sources. And when I cut the outside sources,
Mhm.
it was the internal source of me. And I was like, oh my God. Because like even though we ended our night on a great night, guess what I see? A mouse inside my stove.
No.
I had to throw my
Oh,
food out.
was it
I
in trying
took
to get your food?
Girl, it was in there. I was like, I ain't keeping this food. I made a meatloaf with beef and gravy, was ready to smash. And I said, I'm not even taking that chance. It's going in the garbage. Now, when
Mm.
I got in my room, because
Mhm.
like I started doing my journaling, and I'm doing a 21 major arcana journaling session with myself. So I'm
Cool.
taking all up major arcana cards in the tarot, which is like the star, sun, aces and things like that, and because all of those things are like heavy cards in tarot, and the meaning of each card is crazy. And so I said, I'm gonna do this 21-day journal with myself. And so the pre-work that I did was I had to like look at the dream version of myself, the nightmare, and the obstacle. So I said, what does the dream version of me look like? So I wrote that down, and I said, what's the nightmare? The nightmare is me never changing, me staying the same, never growing. And I said, me staying in the loop of fear and not feeling good, not thinking I'm good enough. I said, that's the loop, that's the nightmare for me now. And it said, what's the obstacle that's in the way? And I said, and it took me a while to answer that question. I said, the obstacle that's in the way is, sometimes, like my thought process, because like I said, I'm learning my human design and learning how to not think my way through the problems and feel my way through it. That's going to be a heavy switch. Now, the other part of that is like, I had to figure out who was my favorite movie character. And so it took me a minute to think. I'm like, because I love movies, but I'm like, I'm not the type of person to have a favorite anything. I'll really like something, or I might have a bunch of favorites, but I don't have one favorite. So I'm like, damn, how do I pick this? And so it hit me. I said, girl, you love Kill Bill. Favorite movie.
Let's go.
Is my girl. Her fight with Oren Ishii, I will watch that 24/7. And so I said, let me watch this movie. And so I went back and I watched it. And so I had to do the same thing. I had to talk about the dream version of Uma Thurman. I said, all she wanted to do was get out the game, get married, have her baby, cool. I said, what was the nightmare? Her staying and being an assassin, which is something she didn't want. And I said, and then it said, what was the obstacle? They was trying to kill her. No, I said the obstacle was a little bit because she got her revenge. So then, even before I started my journal, it hit me. I said, I know why I'm doing this, because nothing stopped Uma Thurman. She was in a coma, couldn't walk, sat in that car for 13 hours until she got her legs working, went and assassinated everybody. Nothing stopped her. And I watched all of these obstacles in her way, and she knocked that shit down. Like I said, Jasmine, that is you. Don't forget your power. So and this is just day one, and I don't even know what else I'm about to unlock, but I'm so excited to rediscover myself.
I'm excited. What a wonderful work to sit down, and I understand it from the lens of the archetype, and yours was from the arcana, which is dope. And it's what I find is we gotta find our clock. What works like clockwork for us? What works? What we understand? What moves on the dime of our switching, the flipping the switch or shifting the channel lock is open. I flow. What opens, I flow. And we both were reared under Christianity, heavily so. So how did you find your freedom to explore everything else?
So my mom didn't raise us growing up in the church. And I remember going to school with other kids, and it seemed like every kid that was in my class went to church. And I somehow felt like, dang, am I the only one who don't go to church? And so I remember asking my mom, like, why don't we go to church? And I'll never forget her exact words. People in the church are phony, and you can talk and praise God anywhere.
Okay.
I said, I don't really like this answer, but I'm going to take it, because what else I'm going to do, right? And so I remember, going to church sometimes with my Uncle Alfred when we would spend the night at his house. And then when I finally got to experience church as a kid, I'm like, this is what this is. All right, I don't need to be here or whatever. But then as I got older, when I had Zakai, I was with his dad, and his dad's uncle is a pastor of the church. And I remember him saying, like, I want my son growing up in the church, because he did. And again, that's not my life. But I love that man, and I wanted to be a family and work with him. So whatever you want, I'm going to try it for our family unit. And so I started going to church. I wasn't really consistent with it or whatever. But then he was a cheater. That's all he did. And then he knocked up the girl we went to school with, who was on the volleyball team with me. And me and her were cool. And so I found out he had picked me up from work. He's like, hey, in so many words, I got Melanie pregnant. And I was like, so you're still fucking around with other females. All right. So then shortly after that, I ended up pregnant with Nikki. And so now she and her brother 6 months apart. And after I had her, the day I was giving birth to Nikki, he was cheating again. And he lied to me and was like, I'm about to go pick up the DVD player from Auntie Geraldine. And I'm like, all right, keep in mind from my house, Auntie Geraldine is about to go 45 minutes to an hour away.
Right.
He left and was right back.
Mm.
I'm like, I said, so what a DVD player? So the nigga forgot he lied to me. Because he looked at me like the jig is up. And I was like, at this point, I'm like, you didn't even need to do that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we drive, we go home, and we're laying in the bed. I'm belly full. And he talking to me about the other girl, about how it's, you know, other women, people come up in your life and you never know the reason why, and exploring. I was sitting here looking like, nigga, I'm about to die having this baby. And you talking to me about another woman and why it was meant to be for y'all to meet. You thought this was an appropriate conversation hours before I'm about to give birth? All right. So I give birth, the lady comes in, y'all a beautiful family. But as soon as Nikki came out of my body, I felt the earth shake. I will never forget that moment, but I felt a move and I literally looked at him, I said, what was that? But that's how I knew me and him was done. That's how I knew like I could never go back to him after that moment. And so I remember taking her home, and I was staying with him at the time, and I went to my mom's house. I put her in the bed, put the cat, and I remember crying fetal position on the floor, ball and chain. I'm crying in between naps. I'm crying in between breastfeeding because I'm sad. Like I'm having hormones because I just gave birth to a baby. My heart just got broken for the millionth time. And I'm looking at this beautiful baby girl, my handsome son, and it's just us now. And so I said, okay, people said God helps you, right? So I'm like, I'm going to church. God about to come do some work for me because that's what they said. You're going to pay me this, God. I'm down here suffering. Come meet me, God. And so I took myself to church, and I remember seeing like the women in church crying in church. And at that time, seeing it, like I couldn't understand where those emotions was coming from until it was my turn. And now I'm sitting out, the words of church is hitting me different. The choir singing is hitting me different. Now I'm in there crying. Now I'm in there just losing my mind because I'm like, oh my God, God, come rescue me, come help me. And so once I got into church, it was cool because I'm like, this is going to help heal me. And it did. I got fellowship. I got the word of God. I was a nurse. I was helping pastor out by myself because when she trained, she's like, you know, next Sunday, it's all you. Put me in, coach, because I'm ready. Start speaking in tongues. I'm praying. I done started the children's ministry because they've never even had that. I wrote a play, had music, dance, all kind of stuff in there. And I'm like, this is great. But then I started seeing it. I'm like, I thought we were supposed to be
give me
like,
phone calls.
I'm like, I said, wait a minute. I said, we're not supposed to take from them because y'all have money. My kids are okay thanks to y'all. Right. So when I saw that, I was like, ooh. No. And I stayed longer than I wanted to. And it was only because of those kids, because it was killing me not going back there. The thought of them not having someone investing in them was killing me because I'm like, the second I leave, no one is going to pick this up. And so I stayed. But then it was to the point where I'm like, I don't even want to come to church. So I stopped being faithful.
The same edging out. So you see your patterns.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like you begin to notice yourself and you learn yourself, you see your patterns.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'm not a fake person. I'm like, so I told the kids I'm gonna leave. I told the pastor I'm gonna leave. He kind of did me dirty or whatever, but I'm like, all right, whatever. And so that let me come back into being free to explore everything because I didn't like the fact that church was telling me I couldn't study the stuff that's actually in the Bible. You're telling me astrology ain't in here, but we're reading it on Sunday. You know, you can't tell me crystals and stuff is bad, but I'm looking at smoke and sage in the Bible. So I said, I can't do this. I can't. So I left because I'm like, I need my freedom to be able to read anything because I know it's truth in all the religious books and all of these things. And I want my freedom to have that because why am I keeping myself from knowledge? Why deny myself that?
I love the freedom.
Our ancestors got their ass beat for reading. How dare I not pick up a book? How dare I rely on just the internet and people's words? I tell my kids, I'll never lie to y'all, but if y'all won't ever question me, I'm disappointed. If you don't ever challenge me, I'm disappointed. If I tell you something, you got to take your butt somewhere, go read and prove me right or prove me wrong. Because
Right.
I can tell you anything, and yeah, I'm your mama, but I want your minds to be sharp. You know what I mean? So no, I need
Okay.
my
So,
learn.
and I fully freaking agree. It's a we better be reading and verifying and researching. So we've passed through kind of the beginning stages. We've passed through a bit of understanding, spiritual lens, and then growth, and kind of like the foundation. Boom, boom, boom. Now we're taking another step forward. The next
Mm-hmm.
step forward is into Simply J.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was the forming, creating, and making of Simply J?
Well, it was Sincerely J,
I'm
and so
sorry,
sincerely,
sincerely J.
oh no, it's
It's like I
okay.
know that because I got keychain and everything. Go ahead.
But when I first started Sincerely J, like I said, it was more so about like the young inner version of me. Like in tarot, the fool is represented by Aries because Aries is the first
Hmm.
zodiac, so it's the baby of the group, right? And
Yep.
so Sincerely J was the baby. You
Hmm.
know, she was young, she was energetic, she was just excited to be here. You know what I mean? She didn't have a real structure. She knew she liked making candles, she liked making some butters and lotions. And don't get me wrong, I know the science behind it because I had to practice it.
Yes.
So it was just more so like me getting the formation of it down, and like
Good.
I was like, okay, this is cool, but I'm like, I need to make money. But then when I got pregnant with Zara, my sense of smell, I hated the smell of everything. Like it made me sick. So I had to put that away. And it killed me because like, I just got more momentum and now I'm pregnant. I was like, okay, I gotta sit down again. And so Sincerely J got put on hold for years and years and years and years. And like now that Zara is 7, like I said, I found myself waking her back up, and that's because I'm waking back up. And like when you see on my social media, it's like I have a video where I'm explaining why Sincerely J's virtual house is now existing, because the only thing I know for Sincerely J's virtual house right now from the spiritual downloads that I get is that it's supposed to help people heal. And when I
Good.
say people, it doesn't matter who you are. It does not matter what race or religion you are, because everyone here really is welcome. A house has a bunch of rooms, right?
Indeed.
I have a Christian house. I could have a Muslim house. I could have an astrology house. And guess what? We're not here to judge. We're
Nah.
here to exchange this information and be respectful. And let's see where we might be getting it wrong, or at the very least, see how we can at least respect the others. And I know that's really what I want. And like I was getting more downloads yesterday, and I even posted on my Facebook that I am nervous about what I received, because I
Okay.
said it's so different. It
Mm.
is so different that people gonna be looking like this don't make no sense, but that's the Aquarius life. I don't know an Aquarius who might have said something, did something, and they got looked at crazy, and then 10 years later people came back and was like, you told me this 12 years ago. And I'm like, I don't know an Aquarius that don't go through that. And so I
Mm-hmm.
know my ideas are always ahead, but I'm like, this is also a part of my first house, because everything about my chart screams visibility.
Mm.
I can't hide anymore. My chart
Good.
literally said your first 40 years, yeah, you were in the background, you were making things happen, you weren't being seen, and it was cool for a while. That's done now, which is another reason why I made sure to show up today, because I'm trying to make sure that I'm putting my face out there. Because, like I said, according to my human design, it literally tells me that what I'm building, I have to be the face of it. I have to be the face of it. In order for people to really connect with this, I have to get comfortable with showing my vulnerability to the world.
Yep.
I can show it to my sister. I can show it to my kids. I can show it to my mama and daddy. And even some of that I might kind of be, cautious about doing. But I'm
Good.
like, the world, now I'm opening myself up to being talked about in judgment. That's going to happen anyway. I might as well get some paper while it happens.
You ain't never lied, and it's I kid you not. It is something when you bother with expectation.
Mm-hmm.
And I say it that way because the truth of the matter is everything is existing in us,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every cell of being, every action exists in us. So when I turned into the expectation, and I'll clarify, expecting the people around me to be like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
could get that or go for it or that makes sense or okay, maybe it doesn't make sense to me, but I'm with you. I
Mhm.
leaned into the expectation and I leaned into it poorly because like in the wrong
Mhm.
direction. There was no reason to lean into that. Hell to no, it just wasn't.
Yeah,
So what I learned in those many lessons, because Trump, baby, it wasn't no few. Okay, it was
exactly.
several several lessons of in that because I was slow to learn that lesson.
Hmm.
It was the managing of expectation. It
Yeah.
was putting expectation in its place, and that expectation it was a mirror. It was never supposed to face outward. It was only
Mhm.
supposed to face me. So I
Yeah.
expect me to show up. I expect me to speak about these things. I expect me to know what the hell I'm talking about. I expect me to
Hmm.
go learn and research and produce. And then
Hmm.
I expect me to measure because it ain't
Exactly.
existing if you can't measure it. Run your mouth.
Exactly.
So and spiritual things can be measured. So I'm
Hmm.
proud of you. Like I appreciate your vulnerability. I was not
Hmm.
expecting that clear lens, but amen is what it is. And here's the truth of the matter: in the hearing, for folks who can hear it and not run away from the sting, maybe of the words, maybe it's their personal story, or their personal history that they've not released. Because I don't
Yeah.
believe anything. I create sacred spaces all day. This is one
Hmm.
of them, and the truth goes forward here and someone may find themselves on the receiving end of the conversation feeling like, damn, why she on my toes like that? Did somebody
Hmm.
share my business? Nah, this is
Hmm.
just life. Like this
Yep.
is just life. So I love that you're experiencing it. I
Hmm.
sorrow in that very little bit now because with that understanding that while you were speaking I just had a full wide understanding. I was like, okay, because I sorrowed at first with what was going on with the house and such like this, but now I understand. So I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, it's that. Because
Yep.
then it makes sense. Like, okay,
Yep.
this is a joyful thing because that means
Yeah.
that you're about to do something freaking amazing. You're about to be released. You're about
Yeah.
to have that foundation, a new foundation, spring up, and you cannot exist on a new foundation when you still standing on the old one. So
Yep.
I the better and the better and better. And this year, I kid you
Hmm.
not, last October, I was having conversations with my folks
Hmm.
about what this year is, and all I could see was like this is a year of everything you ever wanted, everything you want to touch or try or do. I
Yeah.
am trying to do every dang thing this year. Like anything that I
Yeah.
hadn't done, sis, I am doing it the all because in
Hmm.
as I was reading and understanding more and more, the acceptable year of the Lord. Yo, I'm fit to go ape in this
Yeah.
beat. So
Hmm.
what all what does that going ape look like for you in concern with your family or relation to your family, relation to your business, relation to your dream person? Because I love that. And I want
Yes.
to hear about your dream person or you
So
as your dream.
So I mentioned to you in our private conversation that I use this thing called quantum planting,
Yes.
and anybody can do this too. So quantum planting is you taking something that you have now. So I have my glasses, right? So let's
Hmm.
say future version of me also. Well, actually, no, I'm saying future version of me doesn't need her glasses as much or something like that. But I'm using this as a way to like get my eyes better now, so that when I get to that version, I won't need this, just like future me won't need it. And so recently I was paid to come up with a business plan for this guy who's opening up a laundromat, and the alderman apparently said, look, I'm going to approve it, I just need the paperwork. And so I did the paperwork for him, charged them, and so I took my $100, said this is my quantum planting, because I'm always paid for my business instantly, quickly, and in full. No payment plans, no nothing, I'm paid instantly. And so that's where I'm starting with my quantum planting. And this is what's building me going ape shit, because like I've already started my outreach programs for the schools. I'm working on my
Which
consultant.
was dope, by the way. I did get to see that
I
freaking
did.
email. Yeah, I did. I just be
And
busy as I
so
don't know what. And I meant to say something. I'm like, damn, I forgot. But yes, I did.
it's
And that was
okay.
dope.
And so
Yes.
now working on my consulting one for project management, because like you said, for me to be sitting here with my MBA and a project management certificate and still not have a job is crazy work. And so it was hitting me because like I'm getting closer to my foreclosure date. That's another, hot topic in my house. Because
Mm-hmm.
I go to court for that next week. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm out of time. And then I had to stop myself. I said, no, you're not. You're not
Not at
out of
all.
time. It is what it is. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. But at the end of the day, you're safe. You have
Yeah.
a family that you can go to.
Yes,
Anyone
it
would
was.
take you and your children in, and they will be happy to. But because I'm such an independent person, like being taken care of this entire year, one has had to humble me because I'm like, I don't have a choice now. You know what I mean? And like I said, to know that I have had to do that for the entire year, like it hit me yesterday and I was like, I can't take it no more, which is part of the reason why I was like having my tears moment and stuff like that. So I said, you know what? Instead of worrying about everything like that's going on, go back to what you've been doing these past few days that has been keeping you happy. Focus on the vision. Focus on the goal. Outside is happening. Outside is happening. Inside is happening. So maybe go where the happy is, and that's where it is. I've been in my delusional state to where I'm like,
Team
I don't
illusion, let's
care.
go.
I said, I don't care. And I even, because when I saw that mouse inside of my stove where my food
Girl.
was, I said, you know what? I said, y'all can have this house. I don't even want it no more. I said, because I'm not even happy here. I'm not comfortable here. And then Zakai said something to me last night. He said, Mom, he said, you got to remember, we in a heavy residential area. He said, it's stores over there, it's apartments down here. He was like, and the cats don't come over here no more because I now have a cane corso.
Oh,
So they
that's
very
right.
much stay clear away from my house now. So, like I said, for 2 years, the stray cats was always in my yard. Like steps smell like pee. So I'm pretty sure that was keeping the mice away. So I don't have that outside protection anymore. So now they done found their way up in here. And so I'm like, you know, I said, I'm ready to travel the world. I was telling myself last night, I cannot wait to see Singapore. I cannot wait to go to Japan.
Yes.
I cannot wait to go to Thailand. I literally changed my entire fucking speech. I don't even say I hope. I don't even say I wish because the universe is going to give me more hopes and more wishes. I speak abundance now. So no, I thank God for this trip that's coming up. I thank God for my bills being paid. Like all I do is gratitude. All I do is thanks. I clap, praise, I ring bells. I give thanks to everything. I hug my tree outside. I speak to the birds. I put my messages out there. And this is what I'm doing. We're going ape shit because for me right now it's spiritual. Because Uranus is leaving Taurus, which has fucked up a lot of shit for me, which is explaining why my house is where it is. Everything is unstable because Uranus and Taurus, they don't get along. And Uranus been in Taurus for 7 years. So all of us, the entire world, we've all been feeling that, some worse than others. And it's about to come out of that at the end of this month. And I'm happy about that because I'm like, as soon as this shit leaves, it's a lot of stuff that's about to start taking off. So spiritually, I'm dealing with that because it's for me and my astrology chart, it's in a spiritual house for me. So the fact that it's been shaking things up for me spiritually is also the reason why I'm like waking up. I'm reading more. I'm studying more. I'm picking up my tarot cards more, my oracle cards, and like I said, doing this arcana journaling and things like that. Because like even with that, I had to push because after I saw that mouse, I was like, I'm done. I said, I've been crying all day. I got myself together enough to have this time with my baby, do our face mask, watch Baby's kids. And yeah, that kind of gave me some energy, but it still really wasn't enough because I'm, you know, back into the matrix and shit. And so I'm like, I can't do this. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. And that's been the killer of my depression. Getting out the bed. And I said, Jasmine, you done broke that habit. Don't start that shit back. And so I got my ass up and I grabbed my journal and I turned on Kill Bill and I said, I'm about to get to this work because I can't go back to being in the bed, not being able to get up. So I sit on my couch. I don't spend as much time in my room. Like the space I'm in now, I had so much stuff back here. I was like, my moon water that I still have to give you, the day I drank that moon water, I cleared this bitch out. And the key was like, ain't no way this is a space that was just looking like this. And that's when I ended up doing that Makes These contest. So me getting in space was just in time. And I didn't even know that was coming. Wow. You know what I mean? So like everything has always been in alignment. You know what I mean? Man. So it hit me that what I have to do, I've been focusing on the natural. I said, you're supposed to be back in the spiritual. You've been out the spiritual too long. You've been in the natural long enough. That's your damn problem. You're not a natural person. Like I everything about my chart screams spiritual. Everything about it. And I was like, and that's why when it comes to my human design, I was never come here to work like that. I was supposed to find work that lit me up. And literally when I was talking with Claude, my husband at AI, me and him was talking, and he was like, you probably been told your whole life you had to get up and get it. You got to get up and move. And it was like, that was the wrong thing to tell a person like you. And because I have these highs and lows, when certain things were said to me in those lows, I took those things as truth. And I did that to myself yesterday because I was having a low and I was like, oh my God, how I am. I'm not good enough to be in a relationship. You know, maybe my emotions are too much for a man. You know, maybe I need to put that to the side and calm down and be ladylike and talk. Like, you see me, I'm talking like Denzel Washington right now, training day. You're going to get both sides. As above, so below. So to think I'm gonna be sweet 24/7, like I don't have another side, is crazy work. But I was telling myself, I'm like, oh my God, no one's gonna love me. I'm too much. I'm too much. I work too much, and I'm too about my business and my goals and my ambition. I gotta sit down. And I was like, and I said, Jasmine, that's not true. Don't do that. So this is what I do. I have to activate that shit because I'm like, no, don't tell yourself this in this low point because then you'll take it as a truth, and now you'll be believing that. That's the trick of my emotional wave. I cannot allow the low points to be my truth. I have to push past that. And once I got to the clarity, I said, there ain't nothing wrong with you. You might have some work to do, but your emotions that's not your problem. You get to feel like everyone else. And I spend my whole life with people telling me not to feel. And then I started doing that myself. I took over their job.
That's it.
Their voice
Fully honesty.
mine.
I love it.
So now I'm doing it before
now
they do it. You know what I'm saying? I said, no. I said, gun to the pigtail. No, I'm straight.
Okay. So Sincerely Jay's Ritual House. Okay. Because I wanted to make sure that's the rebranding, that I understood the name. And give me a clue on like some of the rituals that somebody might encounter.
So one of the rituals that people will encounter is using the planets. Every planet rules something in our life. Even the days are ruled by the planets. So using planetary hours and the planets to take care of things is important. Like, and I'll just give this quick story. Like last Thursday, you know, I was at my mom's house and Zara, I had to help my mom with something, but my mom, she lives like on 102nd, I'm on 87, and it's like Zara school is like really, really close. So I had to leave my mom's house, catch the bus back all the way over here, go pick her up, and then go back. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm supposed to fill out this job application for this product owner. And it was 100% remote. So I'm like, I have to hurry up and do this. But I'm like, I forgot I scheduled a meeting with the project managers. And then I realized I had 2 meetings. And then because I'm like trying to get more tech savvy on TikTok, I had to sign up for this fan club meeting all at 7 o'clock. I was like, I done double booked. I got meetings. I'm like, and I still got to take care of my baby. I'm like, I'm probably not going to get to this application today, but it was important to get to it on Thursday because Thursday is ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is about blessings. It's about expansion. It's about taking something and making that shit just as big as Jupiter. So I told myself, I said, if I apply for this job on Jupiter day, which is a blessing day, maybe this might bring me some good luck. And then I said, if I pair this Jupiter day with a Jupiter hour, that might give it that double unction. And so I was like, man, I said, I probably done missed the Jupiter hour doing all this running around. Girl, by the time I was done with those meetings and finally getting back to like my actual application, because I was updating my LinkedIn and my resume, because you got to do that 50 million times for a new job. I'm like, I looked at my phone because like my body is now to the point where I know what the planetary hour is, because my body will get up and tell me what to do based on what that hour is. But that night, I was like, let me just look and see, because I might have missed the Jupiter hour. I had walked right into that bitch. Like literally a few minutes, I said, if this ain't spirit helping me, I said, all of those things that I thought were obstacles were not. They were keeping me where I needed to be so I could land exactly where I was trying to without effort. I was like, when it happened, I said, okay, spirit, I must be doing this right. I said, the downloads I'm getting, it's not the voice I'm telling myself. It's literally coming from the ethers. And so I've been using that because, like, if I'm being totally honest, that's what got me out of my depression. I started using Saturn hours. And Saturday hours rule discipline. So if you are struggling and you don't want to work out, do it during the Saturday hour. If you want to write your book, do it during the Saturday hour. And so I kept saying, I'm going to get up during the Saturday hour. And all I could do at that time was leave my bed and go to my couch. But I said, that's a victory.
That's it.
Because
I'm
I'm
telling
not
you.
in the dark. I'm
That's
not laying down.
That's
I'm
it.
up. Yeah, I'm irritated that I'm up on this couch because I would much rather be in the bed, but I forced myself. And I said, I'm going to sit here. And then slowly I started doing stuff. Hey, kiddo. And slowly I started doing stuff, doing that Saturday hour to where now my body knows it's a Saturday hour because my body like, oh, it's time to work. And I'm like,
That's
okay,
that
let me go do this. You know what I'm saying? So like, and when William came over to see my mom, like we were talking about it, and I had told him, I said, they tell us this is woo-woo and it don't work, but this is what the billionaires are using.
Yes,
these billionaires are
is.
using astrocartography.
Yes, they are.
Before the Beatles took off, they went and traveled somewhere to grab that energy to help that their album take off. Jeff Bezos did the same thing.
Yes.
Elon Musk did the same
They'll
thing.
talk about it, but yes,
They don't
they
tell
do.
us this though.
I
And I
promise
said,
you.
fuck y'all for keeping that from us. I said, so no, I'm giving everybody the game. I'm telling everybody when to go tell that, and whether y'all do it or not, I've done my job by putting it out there. Like I told my kids, my integrity ain't based on what nobody else is doing, because then that's not integrity. That's transactional. I ain't a transactional girl. I'm purposeful.
Go, sister. Go, sister.
So yeah,
I have enjoyed
that's one
time
of the
with you.
rituals that you'll get coming into Sincerely Jay's Ritual House. But like I said, because I do want to make room for like, all religions and stuff like that. Even those things, like I want to have circles where, if we want to have a Bible study, but if you're going to come here for that, you have to be open to everything. You have to be able to have somebody pick this apart, and you have to be able to respond, not just with your emotion, but bring us some facts. Because you might have a fact about the Bible that I just didn't hear. I didn't know. And that can make me change and be like, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't even know that. Thank you for teaching me. But that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to teach each other. We're supposed to put each other up on game. We're supposed to share only what works. Leave everything else the fuck alone. I
agree. That was that's the one sentence, like for real, like what works. I got an email today, so I had I have a beautiful human in my life. Her name is Tiffany Cutcherman. She's a beast, an award-winning playwright, and I've been working on the novel. So October, not last year, but the one before, I had this just of a book, and I was like, I love this. And so it comes, it just loads. So I said, the way I work is I write the framework out. So as much as it'll come, I'll write. So I write till it stops flowing. Boom. I already knew there was no way I was about to be able to touch that book because my calendar was so tight till the next April. So April of last year, I sat down and started writing it. And as I wrote into it, it was like I was tunneling into a Coliseum. Like that's how it feels, like I'm tunneling into a Coliseum. Kid you not, because it unfolded, and I was like, oh, and it unfolded in 3 directions. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so novel, stage, film, and each had their own vibration and leaned into one story or the other. So I was like, oh, and I don't know what it was between that and then something else that popped off. It was like, all right, I wrote and I fought for that right. So 72 scenes fought for that right. You feel? And then wrote, and then Bible, blah, blah, blah. I still have more work to do, thank God. But today was that day where I reached out this week for an adult, Tiffany. I was like, listen, this is where I'm at. Yeah, I need an adult because I feel like I got stuck in the right. I'm like, I'm stuck. And I know it's not a writer's block because I can sit and I can write, but I felt stuck, and I'm like, and it feels huge. It feels huge enough to know that this is not just for me to do. So I'm like, okay, I can identify what is mine to do. I will write that novel. I have the 72 scenes, and I need direction. So the adult loved me enough to read through everything that I had, and literally one of the top bold lighted sentences was, what's working well. So that long ass story was to bring you to that moment of what you just said. What
Yeah.
worked? What's working well?
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I honestly believe that we can all thank God for people like that who will
Yeah.
sit with us and have the conversation of what's working well. I'm not gonna sit up
Mhm.
here and when we get on the phone and we talk, we are not having BS conversations about it. Nobody
Nope.
mama and this and that. And somebody has mm-mm.
We get to
So
look.
we get to work and
Mhm.
putting it to work. So I
Mhm.
love that about my wonderful, awesome, amazing sister. And yes, we share heart, and yes, we can share sad, and I broke up
Mhm.
here, I broke up there, and high
Yeah.
five, both our ass, but
Mhm.
still, same time, it's
Girl.
it's not a wallow in the pity. It's not an aversion or an
Mhm.
avoiding of emotions because we get
Yep.
to feel what the hell we feel, right?
Yep.
And same time, we don't spend too much time over there feeling all
Mm-mm.
them feelings because we got shit to do. And I know,
Yes.
like, I never lose sight of that. Like, we here for a reason, for a purpose,
Mhm.
and we're about our reasons and our purpose. And I love the things that you shared tonight because it was so raw, it's so real, and it kills them excuses that
Mhm.
people might
Yep.
have. Or well, I'm in depression, or I had a breakup, I'm losing this, I lost my
Mhm.
work, and you are still in motion. You are
Yes.
still breathing, creating, working, moving into spirit, because that is
Yes.
where you build first.
Yes.
Period. All right. So
Yes.
you are heavy into your build. And then
Mhm.
when the time comes, the availing and the welcoming
Mhm.
of the others into what you have created
Yes.
for yourself with
Yes.
the sovereign divine. So it's
Mhm.
I'm overly excited for you. Like I am
Girl,
joyfully bright excited for you and
I'm
what
so
is
excited.
coming.
And I first of all want to thank you in front of the
Yeah.
entire world because I know we did not get a chance to grow up together, but baby, you showed up and you showed out. Like you came in big sister ready. Like it wasn't no warm up. It wasn't a let me just dip my tiptoe. You
Straight no
came
chaser.
in with the love and I was like,
Oh,
she's perfect. She loves
oh,
burgers and tacos like I do. Like
yay.
we laugh and I get to be silly around her and she just, oh my God, Jay. Like we just like and gave me nieces, you gave me nephews and great nieces and great nephews. Like I love the abundance you came with. Like
Oh,
girl, I thank God every day because like I said, talking to you, talking to everybody, you know, the emotional support I get, the mental support that I get, the encouragement that I get. Like Sincerely Jay's virtual house is built because y'all were my first houses. You know what I mean?
mm,
You, Alpha, Cheryl, Nikki, William, y'all were my first houses. Y'all were where I went to go in different rooms to get what I needed to get comfort, you know, get Alpha's money and, you know, have him talk to me crazy.
run it.
You know, William, I always tell him, like, I say, me and him should have been twins, but we too independent to share that space. So I think we decided in the ethers we gonna come separate because we're so much like. I'm like, I know we're twins, like I just know it. You know what I mean? So I
Mm,
love, like I said, you guys are all my houses.
mm. And I receive all that love, yummy, yummy, delicious, love, and you are my delight. You are my delight, man. So it is easy and to be welcomed in. Like literally, I was not on the block real long when you had Zara. I was not on the block that long, but
You
I
was
was
in
welcome into the
there.
circle. Yeah,
You saw her
I was
come out
like,
my vagina.
I wasn't gonna tell that part. That was her secret, but yeah,
I tell
to be
everybody,
being
all
present for my
my
birthday.
mama, my sisters was there. They was holding legs like this. This is what y'all was doing, holding my legs.
It was
I was in there
to
like,
be.
woo, time to come on out. So, like I
It
said,
was an honor to be present.
I love the sisterhood, like being surrounded
Yay.
by great mothers,
Yeah.
great mothers. Like you're a great mother. My mom's a great mother. Stephanie's a great mother. Like, and knowing Zara got to come into that energy, babe, you can't tell. Oh my,
Yeah. She ready. The
thank
prayer
you,
on
God.
her, she ready.
Thank you, God.
Yeah,
Thank you.
she ready. It's gonna be dope watching her
Yeah,
grow. It is dope watching her grow.
girl, yes.
Okay,
Little
we
ball
so at that
spot,
hour. I wanted to swing on him. We could quit calling that baby that.
girl. Hair down to her back, and he's still saying
Yeah.
it.
And I think he in love. That's just love.
I think he
Wiggy
also missed
love.
his hair too.
Ooh.
But you know what, Alpha? I told him, I said, you look good, ball. Like not
He
everybody
does.
can rock ball. Like you
That's
keeping
true.
it sexy.
Yes, and he's smooth with it. Like he clean anyway.
The
That's
boy
one thing
got
about our
style.
brothers. They clean. They really do.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they be
we
eating
lucky.
down.
We blessed.
I know,
All
right?
right. We done hit our hour. Is there anything else that you want the people to know? How to contact you and where to look for Simply J's Ritual House, in a time frame maybe when these
So
packages and products are going to be ready?
I will say, Sincerely Jay's Ritual House is so spirit led right now to
Okay.
where even with me wanting to do something, I'm kind of like nervous, like I don't want to upset spirit. So like
Okay.
literally everything I'm doing, I'm like, spirit, is it okay? Is it time? And like I said, allowing my emotions to get clear before I decide. So as far as a time frame on when products and things will be ready, I don't have that yet.
Fair.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of April, like I'll have some more stuff to put out, information wise regarding that. Because like I said, once Uranus moves out of Taurus, Jesus, hurry
Oh,
up. Like once that moves, some stuff is gonna start moving. Like because Taurus rules money and beauty. And like I said, Sincerely Jay's Ritual House is money, is beauty, it's all these things. So it's like hurry up and get up out of there so I can move.
okay.
As far as how to find me, I'm on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, all Sincerely Jay's Ritual House. It's all the same across all platforms. So you can follow me there. If you DM me, I reach out. I don't ignore people because even when I get big, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean?
Good.
But as far as what I want people to know, please keep trying. Please just keep trying. Like I know you might be sitting there right now like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't even know where my next meal is coming from. I don't have money to get to work tomorrow. I
Mm.
promise you, all you have to do is speak. All you have to do is speak, because I promise you, every time I've opened my mouth from thinking, oh my God, how, when, where, how, I speak and I'm like, God, you know what I need. And I'll call somebody.
Yeah.
They'll have
Mm.
it. So being able to be comfortable and say, hey, I need help. Like, yes, that's, we're told like that's a weakness, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's not. It's taken me so much strength to humble myself and sit at the feet of people I love. Even going out asking people to vote for me was humbling. You know what I mean? So I'm just asking for everybody to put on your walking shoes and
Yeah.
get the fuck
Walk it
up.
out.
'Cause you got it. On my life, you got it. Your life is I need you, because like I tell people, I have to do my job. Like this is my main mission. I've had my side quests that distracted me, but this is my main mission. Everybody, you need to be here for your mission. I can't get what I need from you if you're not there. So I'm doing my part with showing up, because whatever I have for you, I'm doing my best to give it to you. So I hope this is
Mm.
resonating, because you're building yourself. Even if you don't feel like you're doing it on my life, you are building. Give yourself credit for the smallest thing. I don't
By
care if all
little.
you did was pick up some tissue. You did it. I'm proud of you.
That's it. Little by little. Everything. Little by
Mm-hmm.
little. And for my folks, so I do have a wide audience of folks who are in the church. So I am going to offer this caveat for folks who may be moved with the spirit of offense. Don't be.
Mm-hmm.
Like for real, be able to use mature listening ears. What is for you is for you, what ain't. And
Mm-hmm.
it is that a lot of people running the church is phony as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know it is not all of them. Thank
No.
God, because I know some wonderful people who are in church bodies who participate in organized religion. And I bless
Mm-hmm.
you. And it's wonderful. And
Yes.
at the same time, are you able to bless the people
Mm-hmm.
who don't exist in the pew next to you
Yes.
and let them have the freedom that Christ allows them to have that you can't take away if you wanted to? So
Mm-hmm.
these are the mature conversations that sometimes we don't get to when it comes
Yeah.
to spiritual things because folks too busy being RIGHT,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Absolutely.
that's that energy in itself. You can be productive, you can be on
Mm-hmm.
purpose, you can be
Yep.
impactful, or you can sit your ass over there in the corner and be right. Knock yourself out.
Exactly.
One of the two, knock yourself
By
out.
yourself.
Choose yourself and know everything. So it's
Mm-hmm.
and I mean no offense. I mean maturity. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I mean. I mean
Yeah.
to mature you. I am out to help you grow. And I had a
Mm-hmm.
conversation, I had a lot of conversations this week, but short truth is you are to be questioning everything you see, smell, touch, hear, taste, and believe, because until you sound it out for yourself, you are on a borrowed truth.
Yep. I like that. I
It's true.
like that. I
Okay,
like
so
that.
that's the grown up things. I am Melikia K. Courtney. This is my sister Jay Valentina of Sincerely Jay's. I don't know why I want to say simply. Oh, I know why I want to say Simply Jay's. I'll tell you why. I'm offline though. No, soap and water. Okay, Sincerely Jay's Ritual House. It just hit me because, like, the moment I went to say I don't know, the spirit was like, "Yes, you do." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
do." Okay.
Or if you want, just do SJ's virtual house. We can shorten it up
I'm
because
gonna
I
say
do
exactly
go by
what it is.
SJ too.
Oh, that's true. I see that, but I'm just gonna say what it is. Sincerely, Jay's
Okay.
Ritual House, and
Yes.
I plan on nabbing her for some fun work. I have an idea. You already know what happens when I get ideas.
I
They happen.
do.
So I have an idea, and I've got two people in mind, and you and me and the four of us, which is True Corner. I think we're gonna have some fun doing the idea that I have in
Can't wait.
mind.
I can't
Yeah.
wait. Have
So,
our own little clubhouse on Coven.
buddy,
Yeah.
we had to do something in person.
Yes,
So I'm
ma'am.
looking forward to that.
Me too, girl.
Okay, on that note, I love it's you, and I'm going to send you downstairs. So wait down there for me for just a minute, and I'll be there in a sec.
All right.
Yee. Okay, cool. So you guys, thank you for being a part of SXP Metamorphosis 365. This is episode 102. Dang it. You know what? I just realized that thing is on the bottom. Yeah, I will figure out how to change that. Maybe I will have the adults do it. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, because this is not episode 100. We done had 3 episode 100s according to that video, the little thing down there. But we're still gonna celebrate episode 100 at 102. Okay. Hopefully you've learned and we're listening closely. A true conversation between sisters, a sister talk for real, chat, and just the honesty. Like I'm hoping that you saw something or heard something between our exchange that pricked your heart or opened up a light for you and caused you to think or move or even offended you, dare I say that, to cause you a moment of growth, to give you that possibility, that opportunity. And I'm excited that you stuck around to have it. Yay, you. Yay, you. Just like she said, she's proud of you. I'm proud of you. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, which makes it 5 PST, I think, and Mountain. Y'all forgive me as usual, because I don't know. Okay, great. Let me know if you're on Mountain. And I appreciate feedback. Life is sanctuaryxp@gmail.com. Life is sanctuaryxp@gmail.com. Let me know how you like the new format. I'm going to be bringing more and more guests to just have conversations with and to enlighten. And for my lecture learners, bring out that pen and paper and take the notes. Get what you need. Get what you need. Take it. What you don't need, leave it somebody else to get. All right, I'm gonna push buttons. Let's see how this goes. Bye. Oh wait, I forgot. I'm trying to think how many Tuesdays in between that. I have a private show coming up. The Philologist Unbuttoned. For those who know, I am a spoken word artist, and y'all know me as Lady Molotov. I have an alter ego that few get to see. If you are comfortable with sensual and erotic poetry, go ahead and contact me. Reach me on Instagram for that. Directly on Instagram, hit my DMs and say, hey, listen, I'd like details on how to attend that show. It is a $60 ticket, and it is a wonderful time. Okay, on that note, what else is being on? I've got classes and courses going. I am an author. We'll get into more chat about that next week. Bye. Dee dee.